wanna see you sweat. Come on, spirit, mind, body, work, yeah, work, yeah. 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 Spirit, work, yeah. Hey, everybody, come on, mind, work, yeah, work, yeah. Come on, body, work, yeah, work, yeah. I see you in the back. Come on, body, work, yeah, work, yeah. Come on, dog, let's take it up. Spirit, work, yeah. Mind, work, yeah. Body, work, got it, work, yeah. We working out, baby. Spirit, work, yeah. Mind, work, got it, work. Body, work, got it, work, yeah. We working out, baby. Spirit, work, yeah. Work it out, work it out, work it out, work it out, work it out. We working out, work it 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 out. We work it out, baby. Music keeps me moving, yeah. Doing what I'm doing, yeah. Left, right, back, forward, grooving how I'm grooving, yeah. Dance till you break a sweat. Keep dancing while you sweating, yeah. Breathe in, breathe out. Bless while you take a breath. Focus on them triceps, biceps, leg press, push-ups, stairmasters, 1, 2, stair steps, hanging out, working out. 30 minutes more or less. Spirit, soul, body, working out, full press. Spirit, work, yeah. Mind, work, yeah. Come on, body, work, got it, work, yeah. We working out, baby. Spirit, work, yeah. I see the mind, work, everybody, come on, got it, work, got it, come on, let's take it higher. Let's go, come on, work it out, work it out, mind, it out, work it out, body, work, work it out. We working out, baby. Work it out, work it out, mind, it out, work it out, body, work, work it out, work. We working out, baby. Music keeps me moving, yeah. Doing what I'm doing, yeah. Left, right, back, forward, grooving how I'm grooving, yeah. Dance till you break a sweat. Keep dancing while you're sweating, yeah. Breathe in, breathe out. Bless while you take a breath. Focus on them triceps, biceps, leg press, push-ups, stairmasters, 1, 2, stair steps. Hanging out, working out. 30 minutes more or less. Spirit, soul, mind, body, working out, full press, yeah. Mind, body, work, yeah, work, yeah. Spirit, mind, body, work, yeah, work it out. Now, spirit, mind, body, work, yeah, work, yeah. Now, spirit, mind, body, work, yeah, work it out. That's now. Spirit, work, yeah, mind, work, yeah. Come on, body, work, yeah, baby. We working out, baby. Spirit, work, yeah, mind, work, yeah. Come on, body, work, everybody, move your body. We working out, baby. Work it out, work it out, mind it out, work it out, body it out, work 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 it out, mind it out, work it out, body it out, work it out. We working out, baby. I want everybody up, dance. Everybody up. Moving from left to right, see you sweat. Come on, spirit, mind, body, work, yeah, work, yeah. 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 Spirit, work, yeah, work, hey. Everybody, come on, mind, work, yeah, work, yeah. Come on, body, work, yeah, work, yeah. I see you in the back. Come on, body, work, yeah, work, yeah. Come on, dog, let's take it up. Spirit,
everyone. Welcome. This is a beautiful Thursday, and I'm first just ecstatic about life. How many of you are just excited about life? Are you excited about life, Claudia?
I am. It's awesome.
It
It's
is
amazing.
awesome. You know, we get to experience life day after day, and not just that, but those of you who are in the circle, we also get to experience growth, and we get to experience new levels of the beauty of life. And so just wanted to thank God for life today, and thank God for each and every one of you that are in the Cove. Today with me I have a great person who is a mover and shaker in Naperville, Illinois, and abroad, not just Naperville, but I know that you work with a lot of doctors' offices and other people, just to make sure that people understand the benefits of different things like nutrition and digestive health and cardiovascular health and all of those things. And Claudia she's a health coach, and she's also a mother of 3, and whom she's homeschooled, and just doing some great things. So I'm so glad that Claudia is in the studio today with me. And so Claudia, I would like to just let you introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself to give people a chance to log on.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'm excited. This is my passion, is to help people live well. And that means their body is healthy and their soul is healthy. I am a transplant, actually, from the West Coast. I've been in the Chicago area for almost 5 years. Like Tangi said, I have 3 kids. I've been married 22 years to a college sweetheart. So we're just growing and experiencing the growth of teenagers at the moment. My health history is what's motivated me to work hard to help other people not have the problems I have. I've had a lot of digestive issues, and through a lot of doctors that could not solve the problems because they looked at it through a too narrow of a focus. The body is a whole system unto itself, and as the doctors I've worked with say, the body has no walls. So when you fix one aspect of it, it actually fixes a lot of itself in other areas. So that's why I'm excited to talk about digestive system today.
Yes, because with the gut and the body, I mean, I've heard that a lot of things start in the intestines, right? Like, as far as inflammation and disease and illnesses, if you're not eliminating properly and you're causing those toxins to stay in the body, then that can lead to so many things. Even if you're exercising properly, right?
Correct.
And thinking that you're doing everything that you can, if you don't have a proper flow in your digestion, could there be a problem?
Absolutely. The phrase that our parents knew and our grandparents knew was health starts in the gut. So if your gut is unhealthy, then your body is unhealthy.
Right. Well, Claudia, I am excited to hear a lot of the nuggets that you're going to give today, and I know that digestion is your passion. And for those of you that are in the Cove, with this program, we really focus a lot on that, and as far as even elimination and making sure that your body's operating as it should. So this is extremely important. So please get your pencils out and your notebooks and take some notes and allow these things to sink in. So Claudia, I'm going to let you take it away, and we will reserve some time for questions at the end. So if you have questions, make sure that you send them to info@circleofvitality.com. We will reserve the last few minutes to answer any questions that you might have. Claudia?
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
As I said, the gut, your intestinal system, is where the health begins and where it starts to deteriorate for you. So I had a lot of questions on my information sheet that hopefully you have printed out. It talks about, are you tired? Are you stressed out? Do you have stomach pains? Do you have like a brain fog? All those things actually are linked back to your intestinal system. So what I want to start off with is understanding how these systems are linked in our bodies. So when you go, the intestinal system obviously starts in your mouth and proceeds all the way through your body. But there's also all the systems are interlocking with that. So the 2 basic health principles that we look at for the body is that you are feeding and nourishing the body, and that then you're eliminating second ago, of the toxins from your body. So what we're going to look at first is just how they all are interrelated. When we look at our food, when you look at your intestinal system, the best way to think about it is like it's the skin, because when you put food into your body, it's actually not inside your body. It's as if you're rubbing it on your skin. So your intestinal walls from your mouth all the way through the system are like a barrier, like your skin on your body. So we have to take care of that barrier, or else that allows disease and inflammation to enter your body. So when you look at the digestive system, it starts when you chew your food. The best thing that, and here's a health tip and a weight loss tip, when you chew your food, what I suggest to my clients is that you take a forkful or a spoonful and then you put the utensil down. Chew completely. I always start off with my clients chewing 25 times. Count 25 times. Because what most people don't understand is carbohydrates, they start the digestion in the mouth. Your saliva secretes digestive enzymes that start the carbohydrates. The carbohydrates are started in the mouth for digestive systems, the proteins are in the stomach, and the fats and oils are in the small intestines. So that actually is divided up between the three sections of different foods that we eat. So if we chew that cracker or that piece of bread too fast and just swallow it whole, it actually does not get digested very completely. And that's where we start to have problems in the intestines. And alongside the intestine system is your lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is it's not like the circulatory system, as it doesn't have its own pump, but it is what eliminates the toxins from your body. It searches out and it draws these things out and it excretes it into the intestinal system. And so it's very important that it's not overloaded. And then you have your circulatory system, which is alongside your intestines, so that it's where the nutrition is drawn into the body along the walls of your intestinal system into your circulatory system. So the reason we understand that all of these are interlocked together is that food you ate this morning for breakfast is now being distributed throughout your body. We are what we eat. So if we eat improperly, the body will not receive the nutrition and the nourishment that it needs to be healthy. So what I want to kind of go over is the idea that when our body is overloaded, when our intestinal system is overloaded with the improper food, what we need to do is clean it out. And part of that means we need to rethink how we're eating. We all know we should eat better.
Right.
And when we say better, what does better mean? Better means real food.
Yes.
We need to be eating the real fruits and the real vegetables of whole foods. I always try to tell my clients, if it has a label, then it's not real food. So real food doesn't need a label.
That's good.
When you pick up an orange or a banana, there's no label on it because you know it's a banana. If you look at a piece of meat, there shouldn't be a label saying, chicken plus all the extra stuff on it. It should be just chicken. Because that real food is what helps nourish our body. So I wanted to also point out some things for the health of the body. Our body system needs to stay at a pH level. We hear lots of things about pH, but it just basically means parts of hydrogen. It's how much hydrogen molecules are on in the system. And so our body needs to stay at neutral, which is 7.0 on the pH scale. Our blood has to stay at neutral or we die. It has a very small window as to which way it goes. And that's important because when we put food into our body, that affects the pH level of our body. The other thing, as I was talking earlier, when your intestinal system is a very long track, and each section of that intestinal system has a different pH level.
Right.
So we need it to be at various levels for the various enzymes and bacteria to live in our body and to do what their job is. So if the body if you're putting in too much acid forming foods or alkaline forming foods, then what we do is we force the body to work extra hard. And the blood system draws things in and out to keep it neutral. Now, what we try to do is encourage people to eat the alkaline forming foods to help your body stay neutral and more alkaline. What we've discovered over the years through different research is the more acidic the body, the more its disease states fester. So cancer likes acid bodies, inflammation likes acid. So if we help our body stay alkaline, then we're helping the body heal itself. My understanding is our body can heal itself given the right amount of nutrients
Right.
and health that it needs.
Right.
So that what we need to do is help the body. Now, typically, we're in America, well, most of us probably are, and we are the second most obese nation in the world. So we look at what's called a SAD. It is very sad. Standard American Diet. So our standard American diet has highly processed foods, highly processed grains, and a lot of chemical additives. When you stop off and pick up a hamburger, that hamburger contains very little real food, which is why the top 3 leading killers in our country are all based on what we eat. The heart problems, the cancer, and the diabetes. Those are all 3 killers that we control ourselves. When we continue to eat the kind of food that is in the middle of the grocery store. Okay, so we've all walked in the grocery store door, and we know on the outer wall is all the fruits and the vegetables and the meat and the whole foods are all, but if we go to the middle of that grocery store, that's where all the highly processed, highly chemicalized food is. So we need to be eating the outside rim of that store. The more we put into our body that is whole, the more we're able to help it heal itself. Now I presented a picture in my handouts of our intestinal system. Now the small intestines looks like a shag carpet. If you know what a shag carpet has, all the little villi, all the little pieces of carpet up like this. That's what our intestines looks like. If you flattened out our small intestines, it'd be the size of a tennis court, because there's each one of these, the surface area of each one of these little villi, if you just flatten it out. And that's a lot of area for absorption. But in our American diet, all the processed white flours that we eat and the white rice that we eat, it actually comes in and it gums it up. So it's not able to move like it should be. It should be open and free. But when it's all gummed up, you actually reduce the amount of surface area that your body can absorb on. And the reason that's important is most of us eat a lot of food, but our bodies are actually nutritionally depleted. We keep eating because our body keeps telling us, I don't have enough nutrition. So we think we're really hungry when really the body is just being killed by not enough nutrition going in. Now when I think of the whole body as a system, we want to work together. But what I want to focus on now is how do we help our intestines reestablish normal health? Because when they get all clumped up like this, the body can no longer absorb, but also can no longer get rid of what the toxins that it needs to. So the body is actually killing itself. It's auto-intoxication. The body can't get rid of the toxins that we have, and so it keeps storing it. A lot of it goes into our fat cells. So the fat, our body makes fat to protect itself. Like I mentioned earlier, the pH level of our blood needs to stay as close to neutral as possible. So if we put a lot of toxins into our body, the body has to store it somewhere. And the place that stores it the easiest is in fat cells. So the body will generate more fat cells to handle the toxic load. When we have the liver, so let me go back and explain how the toxins are removed from our body. I already mentioned the lymphatic system, but we also have the liver and the kidneys. The liver is our primary, after the lymphatic system, filter. And if the liver, it filters the blood and removes toxins, and it dumps it into our intestines. But if the intestines are not operating properly, then they can't get rid of the toxins, and they get reabsorbed into the bloodstream and refiltered by the liver. And so the body eventually just gives up and stores it in fat, which we don't want. None of us want the extra fat. So the idea is to help the body get rid of those toxins. Like I said earlier, the two health goals that we have are to nourish the body and then to remove the toxins. So that's kind of what I went on there. And now what I want to also, there's a third area that we also need to address in the body, and that's the free radical damage. Our body produces free radicals. A free radical is an atom that's missing an electron. So it goes along and it bounces along and it's trying to pull off an electron off of its neighbors. And it's kind of a cascading effect. It bumps into one, steals an electron, and then it kind of bumps down this chain as each one tries to steal an electron. And they are unstable. So they cause a lot of cellular damage. That cellular damage then turns to inflammation. And the body creates its own free radicals, but also we ingest a lot of it through the air we breathe, the water we have, stress in our bodies produce a lot of toxins. So our ideal is to help remove the free radicals as well as the toxins. So what I want to do now is just kind of go over some solutions to this. How do we solve these situations that we've got our intestines into? The best way, like I mentioned, is to eat food that does not need a label. And people always say, but I can't eat just vegetables. Well, okay, but vegetables don't have to be as plain and bland as people often imagine it. We've got so many more creative ways to cook vegetables. And the ideal amount of vegetables per meal is 3/4 of the plate should be vegetables or fruit. And then the rest of it can be proteins and carbohydrates. When we talk about vegetables, they can be steamed, they can be cooked, blanched. Oftentimes what we don't understand is I have this big spice cupboard, and I use actually a lot of the spices, but most of us, before I started working on my own diet, I used 5 spices out of that big spice cupboard. When I moved, I found all kinds of spices that I hadn't used in ages. So the experimentation with spices is a lot of fun. If we just take the vegetables, saute them really briefly or steam them, put a little chicken broth on them, just try it. The first time you try things, it's okay if it doesn't taste good.
Yes, now I do tell them, though, Claudia, the chicken broth, and I know, or you mean like just like a veggie broth or that sort of thing.
Some sort of organic,
Yes, because with a lot of vegetables, I've seen people actually kill them when they add the meat in there, be it the ham hocks and collard greens or the bacon and string beans,
right,
or that sort of thing, and you actually kill the alkalinity of that vegetable,
right.
And so you mentioned spices, which I think are great. I got some smoked paprika yesterday, and I've never really tried it before, but my sister was telling me a lot about it, and of course your garlic and so many other things, your Mrs. Dash without your salt in there, but there is great ways to make vegetables. So thank you for talking about that and throwing that in there.
Right, and the best way is to eat it raw.
Right.
But if not everyone likes to eat, crunchy vegetables. So that's why I said steaming, blanching, a quick stir fry. So if you want to put the meat in, you cook the meat first, so the meat's completely cooked, and then you add the vegetables and extra spices if desired, so that the vegetables are not killed.
Right.
Because if you cook them too hot of a temperature, they do kill the enzymes.
True.
Is what we need. The other thing that our society, in America at least, has decreased dramatically is the idea of fermented foods, fermented vegetables particularly. The fermentation process, you need the sugars in the initial aspect, but the sugars then ferment, and that produces an amazing ecology in the intestines. One of my colleagues that I work with a lot, she called it the perfect storm in our digestive ill health in the last 80 years. In the 20s, when antibiotics were discovered, and then refrigerators were invented, we lost. The antibiotics killed the bacteria in our intestines, but then the refrigeration decreased the need to ferment our vegetables. My grandmother used to have a shed as big as most people's kitchen, where she canned all of her vegetables. And she made some of the most amazing pickles out of some of the funniest vegetables. But that fermentation process is another aspect that we need to add back into our diet.
It's kind of like this drink we have.
That's
here.
right. This is coming back in vogue. Look, there you go.
Kombucha.
And you can make your own very, very easily. But even just pickles. I let my kids eat as many pickles as they want and drink the vinegar, apple cider vinegar, any kind of vinegar. Because of that, it really encourages the intestinal health. So,
as long as they're not the added sodium, right?
Right.
In the pickles,
right. You need to know
because
that.
Of course we've seen pickles. So she's not saying go and get a jar of pickles, everybody, and those big long pickles that you've seen in the some of the gas stations or Walmart, and these pickles. So no, do not go out and eat a big fat pickle, or you get these pickles. A lot of those pickles, they do have sodium, right? Which the sodium, of course, there's so much in, so we know about sodium and what that does to the body, and further inflammation, and also can affect the heart as well with blood pressure and so many things like that. So, but if you ferment them and you just sort of let them.
You make your own. If you grow your own cucumbers, my neighbor makes a wonderful cucumber pickles out of her own cucumbers out of her backyard. And so the other good one is natural, non-additives kimchi.
Okay.
A lot of the Asians fermented for the same reason that Europeans did, because we didn't have ways to refrigerate. But that produced a very rich ecology in your intestines.
Would that be kind of like your probiotic?
Yes.
Too? So I know some of them may be wondering about probiotics.
That's my next.
Yay!
That's my next topic.
Which is great. But that is where she's leading in that fermented and like this drink, the kombucha, and all of those things, because our body needs healthy bacteria, right?
Right. So the bacteria in our stomach, in our intestines, I should say, small and large intestines, outnumber the cells in our body like by 400 to 1. That's how much ecology is in our intestines. And we need it. We absolutely need the good bacteria. And there's always going to be some bad bacteria, but the more healthy the good bacteria is, then it can keep bad bacteria in check.
Right.
So we all have different pathogens in our body.
Right.
So what's get to my.
And you all, while she's getting her place there, you can find these sheets. They are on the nutrition page in the Cove. You'll see Claudia there, and all of these sheets are there for you. She's got an abundance of information, so you're welcome to follow. If you didn't pre-print these as well, you might want to go to the nutrition page and take a look and follow along. But these are there for you, so you'll have this even after to look and reflect upon.
Right. Because most of us know about probiotics. And we've listened to the ads on the TVs about how the yogurt has probiotics now in it and all this. But unfortunately, they typically have 1, maybe 2 different strains.
Right.
Whereas in our intestines, there's over 500 different species of probiotics in our intestines. And again, like I mentioned earlier, the pH level of our intestines is different at different segments because different bacteria need different pH levels. Some of it like it more acidic, some like it more alkaline to do the best job that they are designed to do. So when we have this many in our system, just having 1 extra from your yogurt actually is not going to be as helpful. And typically it's not alive and or it's not a huge number of them.
And then with the yogurt too, Claudia, if you can expound on like the Dannon yogurt and a lot of those Yoplays, it has that one ingredient, sugar, which
lots of it.
Lots of sugar, which is defeating the purpose of the probiotic and what it's called to do. So really, and we know what thrives on sugar, cancer and illness sits in the gut. So really, it's supposed to be adding healthy bacteria, which it's canceling that out.
Right. And yeast is the other bad bacteria in our intestinal non-bacteria, it's a fungi that loves sugar.
Right.
So we need to cut out. That's why when we cook with real food has natural sugar, which our body uses. But also I recommend people have half as much fruit as they do vegetables. So if you're going to have, let's say, 3/4 of your plate vegetables and fruit, let's say half of it's vegetables and only 1/4 of it's fruit.
Right. It's more nutrient dense, right?
It's more nutrient, and the sugar, even if it's natural sugar, it's still sugar.
It's still sugar.
It's still sugar.
That's
so your
true.
body still treats it as sugar.
Right.
So fruit is awesome and wonderful, but we shouldn't be eating it completely.
That's right.
For the whole day. Now the other main realization with probiotics is the increase in irritable bowel syndromes, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, all kinds of these inflammatory bowel diseases are often rooted back to low probiotics, good bacteria in your intestines. The higher rate of antibiotics as a child oftentimes is a good precursor to these kind of illnesses in your digestive system later, because they've been killed off, and so your body can't reproduce them without help. So when we're looking at the type of probiotic supplement that you want to find, the best is at least needs to have 5 different strains. Mm-hmm. The minimum would be 5. There's a lot of them that have 10. I have also access to ones that have like 50 different strains of probiotics. So the other part of the probiotic to look at is how many CFUs, which is colony forming units. And you need to make sure that they're live. So there's various forms. Some are liquid and in the refrigerator, but there's also a good number of shelf-stable probiotics. But I always try to do at least 5, if not 10, different strains. And
I was going to ask you, would you suggest the liquid so it's more bioavailable rather than the capsule? Because I know there's capsules to the acidophilus as well. Would you want to?
Either one works well. Just depends on the person, how much the pill. Because what you want to do is you need it protected enough so that it gets into your intestines.
Right.
So you need to get it through the stomach acid. So because the acidic environment is obviously very dangerous to them. So in some respects, I would like the pill better,
Right.
because
right.
then it gets through the stomach in more live colony filming units. So that's why the higher the number of the CFUs, the higher the chance that you get a good number into the intestines where it needs to be. And then there's also several that are important to have in the intestinal tract. There's a couple that are actually help with stress. I've just read a whole study on how important the probiotics are to your emotional health.
Right.
Because what we don't understand is not only is the vast majority of our immune system centered in our intestines, but a lot of the brain hormones that we get are actually manufactured in your intestines. Your vitamin Bs
Yes.
are processed and manufactured in your intestines by bacteria. So if you don't have the bacteria, then those things can't be made. So a lot of people that struggle with depression,
Right.
anxiety, oftentimes just a really wonderfully strong probiotic, it does the trick. It's just amazing. Like I said, our gut dictates our health.
That's very true.
The other one that I recommend highly for intestinal health is called aloe juice.
Let me get your samples.
Right. Most of us.
I'm going to get some samples for you all.
Okay. Most of us have heard about aloe juice for the skin. And as I talked earlier, think of your intestinal tract as your skin, because it is the outside wall to your body. What gets through your intestinal wall is what gets into your body, which is why your immune system's 70% of it is focused on your intestinal system. So this is the aloe juice that I use because it's extremely concentrated. And what it has a lot of polysaccharides in it. It has a lot of essential nutrients in it. It has its own set of probiotics, as well as what's called prebiotics. The prebiotics is what mother's milk has in it to help stimulate the intestinal growth of infants. And just as an aloe leaf soothes the outside of your skin, the aloe juice will soothe and heal the intestinal walls. Because of the enzymes, like I said, the probiotics and the prebiotics. The key for watching which one is the concentration. This particular brand that I like is 150% proof of its aloe juice. So most of the ones, and you only need just a little cupful
Right.
of this. You don't need a big, 8-ounce glass.
And this one tastes, she came over and I actually had my aloe juice in my refrigerator because I love it too as well. And mine, it takes a little, it takes a while to get used to. I have to
Right.
mix mine with juice, but hers is a little different because it has a little bit of a flavor.
Right.
But would you say they're both pretty comparable, or?
Well, actually, this one, if you look at milligrams and milliliters are the same in the metric system. So this has got like 300 milligrams, and that only has 58.
Wow, do you see
So-
that? And it's
So
so I need to get what Claudia has, everyone. And she's going to tell us at the end how we can access, how we
Right.
can get that too.
You can find those.
Thanks.
And then the third part of healing the digestive system is digestive enzymes. Most of us, as we age, we decrease the enzymes the body produces. And this is one that you need to talk to somebody who's familiar, because not everyone needs digestive enzymes. It helps at times, but oftentimes if you take too many enzymes, your body stops producing them.
So who would be the person? Who would be the candidate for that?
Particularly those of us over 50,
Mm-hmm.
because our systems have lost it. If you've had gallbladder removal, if you have any pancreatic or liver issues, oftentimes those are necessary to help digest. You need the extra enzymes to do that. And if you're trying to heal your intestines, if you know you already have any of the issues, then digestive enzymes are often very helpful to, and if you have any gassing and bloating, oftentimes digestive enzymes are for that. And again, you want to make sure that it's a good quality enzyme, one that has all the different ones that will digest the four major aspects. You need to have amylase, which does the starch; protease does the protein; the cellulose does the cellulose in the, like, if you eat a lot of vegetables, it helps break that down. The lactase for like the milk products, and then lipase.
Yes.
For the fats.
Yes, for the fats. Wow. So you need to make sure that you have
Right.
that
Those
includes all of
enzymes
those.
have all
Okay.
of that in
If-
them.
Okay.
And then often what we don't understand, if we're trying to heal the intestines, the next two vitamins, vitamin B's, it needs to be a complete vitamin B. Like I said, the bacteria in your intestines produce it, but oftentimes if you're having issues, a good supplement of vitamin B is important, because that helps heal the intestinal walls as well as encourage the energy that the body needs. If your body does not have the energy it needs to heal itself, then it can't heal itself. So the vitamin B's are a good source of extra energy for the body until you're able to heal yourself well enough and eat the right foods that you can produce on the vitamin B's. Again, it's something that I use all the time myself. Even though I've been able to do a lot of healing, I still just like to have the extra vitamin B's because of all the things it does for you.
It's a great vitamin tab.
And then I don't want to leave out the last really important one is your fish oils.
Oh man.
I can't understate the importance enough of omega-3s.
Oh wow, yes.
High amounts of omega-3s have done amazing healing in the body. It's an extremely powerful anti-inflammatory, and we in our diets now are so out of balance. There are the three essential fatty acids, fatty oils are omega-3s, omega-6, and omega-9s. Omega-3 and 6 we have to eat. We cannot make.
Let's talk about where we get those omega-3s.
So the primary ones are fish,
Right, salmon.
salmon, and the deep water fishes, the dark meats. Flax seeds also
Right.
have them, hemp seeds, and chia seeds
Yes, chia
also
seeds.
have them. So if you're a vegetarian, then you can still increase it using non-fish based sources.
Right.
I just found this really cool little drink. I've been trying it out. It's what they've done is they've hydrated chia seeds,
Yes.
and they put a little blackberry paste in there, and you kind of just drink it, and that helps with your omega-3s. It
Yes.
increases your omega-3s. So if you're having issues with people without a gallbladder,
Right.
have issues with a lot of oils.
Right.
So if taking an omega-3 fish oil pill is a problem, then like I said, flax or hemp or chia seeds.
Yes.
And so even my little 12-year-old is drinking this chia seed drink.
Right. I love one that I get too. It's from Whole Foods, and it's called like Mamma Mia, and it's full of chia seeds, and I love the guava flavor.
Oh,
so I have to
yeah.
show everyone that particular one. But yeah, that's my drink of choice now.
Right.
And my son loves it because he feels like it's sort of fun. You get to chew on these little slimy seeds as you drink, and you can't really taste it, but it's full of goodness. And then there's also a what I do. I take a fish oil by Nordic Naturals. I can grab it. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I have
you
one
have
that
an
we
example
use
too
too,
as
yeah.
well. A good liquid one, but it's good to take that every day because of course we're not eating fish every day, and we don't get everything that we need. And then also you want to talk about the DHA and all of that.
Right. When you look at a fish oil supplement, the two most important pieces are what's called EPA and DHA. They have big, long, complicated names, and I'm not going to try to reproduce for you. But those two are the pieces of the omega-3 that are the anti-inflammatory aspects. And I work with a cardiologist who uses the one that I recommend, and he knows that his patients are not taking their omega-3 if their blood work stays the same, because he can clinically prove by the patient's blood work how these omega-3s are working.
Right.
So what you want to do is you need to have at least for maintenance 1.5 grams of omega-3 oils. If you're trying to heal your intestines or your heart or your circulatory system, you need to up it to 3 grams. And I've been doing some research lately that for major inflammation issues, which is cancer and some other things, you need to increase it to 5 milligrams a day.
Can you talk a little bit about inflammation? Because a lot of people, they hear inflammation and they've asked me, and I'm sure you're probably wondering, well, what is exactly inflammation? Could you kind of expand on that?
Right. It goes back to the free radical I talked about earlier. When there is free radical damage, which means the atom that is missing the electron is bumping around, kind of like bumper cars. They're bumping in, and you know how your neck jiggles and your whole body kind of shakes back and forth, and that's what's happening on the cells. And so when those get irritated, and they basically cause inflammation when the body is trying to heal those. Our immune system uses inflammation to isolate. When you cut yourself or you bruised your, sprained your ankle.
Yes.
That's inflammation that is extremely important for the body. But the inflammation in the cellular level is damage, is cell damage, which then causes it to not work properly. And the immune system is trying to repair it. And it can't because there's so much going on. And so every illness, I can actually say this, every illness we have is caused by inflammation. And so when we deal with inflammation, and that the best cause that I've found is antioxidants. A very strong mixture of antioxidants to reduce that inflammation, because antioxidants take care of free radicals.
And there's foods that either contribute to the inflammation,
Right.
or they actually help with inflammation. There's a lot of the greens, like those superfoods, the super greens,
Right.
and all of those things. Your kale and
The spirulina,
spirulina,
and seaweed, even a lot of that is also extremely. Mushrooms, amazingly enough,
I know.
are amazing.
Now, what are some of the top 3 foods that you would say would cause inflammation?
Meats,
Right.
a lot of meats, but mostly
Meats, very simple.
processed foods. If you eat a lot of processed flours, the processed and the additives that are in those processed foods. So if you're going to eat a piece of bread, if you look at the ingredients in a piece of bread, it's all processed white flour, or maybe a little bit of wheat flour.
Right.
But even the wheat flour in the supposedly whole wheat
Or enriched wheat.
has been milled down to the point that
Right.
it's basically just starch.
Right.
And so when we have that plus the preservatives for that piece of bread to stay on that counter
Yes.
a week.
So they can make money.
So yeah, and so it doesn't get moldy, and
Right,
'cause,
right.
If you make bread, you have to refrigerate it.
Yes. And
Because-
just like Ezekiel bread, I've been that's one of the things that you guys will see when we do our grocery store tour. Ezekiel bread, it is sprouted, and you have to keep that in the refrigerator because it's more alive than the bread that is on the shelf that has those preservatives and the corn syrup even and the sugar and other things too as well. It's like you can write a book with the ingredients in a lot of the bread that we see.
Right. What I teach my clients is if you can't pronounce the word, then you shouldn't be eating it.
Right.
And if it has more than 5 or 6 ingredients, be careful.
Right.
So there are some good stuff that I use when I cook something quick, but I look at the label to make sure that there's whole food in that label, so that it's not all the benzoate and sodium and all the crazy stuff that we put on there.
Right. And again, everyone, if you have any questions, we're kind of getting to the end, but I want to ask Claudia about some other good stuff that I know will be beneficial to you. But please send your questions to info@circleofvitality.com. Again, info@circleofvitality.com. Again, we're talking digestion, all things digestion, and the importance of it. We have heard about different things like your probiotics and aloe juice and your omega-3 fish oils were some things that Claudia has been mentioning. But I really wanted to talk about too, Claudia, the importance of elimination and how many times you should be eliminating daily. I know in the morning it's good to have that in the morning, that elimination, and I don't know if you want to talk about it should be, or those sort of things, or if it should float. We talked about knowing that you're having enough fiber in there and the shape of it too, how important that is. But really, take a baby step. It's just important that you do what how many times did you suggest that you eliminate?
Well, minimum is once a day, but
Very
I'm not
minimum,
sure.
yes.
I know when my firstborn child, every time I fed her, she pooped. It was like, oh my gosh. And so ideally, every time we eat.
Yeah. When you eat, you excrete, right? I've always said, when you eat, excrete. Eat, excrete,
Right.
So you really should be eliminating at least 3 times a day.
Yes.
If not 4, if you have that initial elimination in the morning. And one of the things that you all will hear about a little later on is colonic irrigation. If you are at a point where you just have not had a bowel movement, I've had some of my clients say, Tangi, it's 2 days that it takes me, or it's a day and a half, and some people it's even longer than that. They're not eliminating, and those toxins are staying in your body. And even that meat that you eat, the flour, it's sticking to the colon walls because you're not digesting that food properly. So did you want to speak a little bit about the colonic irrigation and what's your take on that?
I normally go the gentler way because I don't have a lot of experience with that one. So what I recommend is a detox vegetable diet,
Right.
because it's a little gentler, and it also gives the nutrients back into the body. And so what I have particularly my weight loss clients do is a 3 to 4 day vegetable detox.
Right,
so
that's very good.
Where they eat just real vegetables, and in any form. Sometimes they have to start off with a mix, cooked a little more than they should be, but this is all baby steps. I'm not going to try to make somebody do something that they are going to hate.
Right.
And some people's body needs to be done a little gentler. So it can go if you feel like you need a little more aggression, then the colonic irrigation is a great way to clean it and jumpstart you, and then you can go into a vegetable detox.
But also these products, everyone, I'm telling you, they definitely work wonders with your chia seeds, your flax seeds. Remember your omega-3s, your aloe.
The aloe actually is awesome for digestion. If you are having constipation issues, particularly for teenage girls.
Right.
My daughter drinks this every day, and it does wonders for her intestinal system. And so this is a very nice, gentle method of helping your body clean itself out.
Right, absolutely. I think that is a great, gentle method on that. And Claudia, this is really such great information. talking about digestion and even in the body, the whole foods. We're speaking about whole foods now, everyone, and what you eat, and it's not just to give you this strict diet where you feel like we have to take fun away. Like Claudia said, there's so many great ways that you can play around with your vegetables, and cooking them and steaming them also sends off nutrients that your body needs too as well, that if you're eating it raw, like say with your broccoli and different things like that, some things where steaming is good, and having that balance in between steaming and cooking your vegetables too. So just as that, the recap, just such great information, and I love that you said if it has a label on it, it is not whole. It is not something that you want to look at as something that's giving you that optimal energy, right? And so just fiber, I know we really didn't touch that huge on fiber, but that's even important, right, as far as the digestion and some of the things, because you get a lot of fiber too from vegetables and different things like that.
That's the best source for it.
Yes, and I've had someone come to me, Claudia, and they have those fiber bars. Have you heard of those fiber one bars and all of these things that try to get you to feel like, oh, eat your fiber. So, but those bars are full of so many preservatives, sugar, and so many other things, correct?
Right.
So apples, of course, we get the fiber from there.
But that kale is a wonderful one. There is some supplements like green powders that help.
Right.
That have oftentimes are a mixture of really good healthy greens, superfoods. It also has some probiotics. I use a variety of them myself and my husband. But the kales, the broccolis, depends if you want to stay away from certain of the nightshade family, but really the algae-based ones, the the seaweeds are also really good. The best thing is a variety. Don't eat the same thing all the time.
Right. Yes, like I've seen people eat the same thing for breakfast and the same thing lunch, and for the small energizing meal you may have a banana and some nuts every single time, but there's different vegetables that provide so many a variety of vitamins that we need. So if you just limit yourself to that one thing, and that's what we talk about, eating color, lots of color, because they feed the different organs in the body as well. But I wanted Claudia, and as we are going towards the end of the segment, to talk about where you can get these items, because what Claudia does, everyone, she has aloe juice, and she has, I don't know if you want to grab anything or if you needed to show them anything, that's right there, but she has products that she works with doctors that actually have a higher nutrient level than some of the things that we can get over the counter. And so even with your aloe juice, you want to make sure that your aloe juice is one that is digestible. That's something that you're supposed to take via consumption, and because there are some things you want to be very careful that you're consuming.
This is so I want to, on the fish oil. This Heart Health Omega-3 is one that I use. My husband and I use. Because of the high level of the EPA in just 2 soft gels. The EPA is 900 milligrams and the DHA is 600 milligrams.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
The stuff you buy at Walmart, Walgreens, Kirkland, Costco have a third of that, and you have to take 2 to 4 pills.
Right.
So they're this big, soft gel ones, but you only have to take 2 for maintenance. Like I said, you need to have 1.5 grams for maintenance level. But so this one, my husband loves because it's only 2 pills.
And you would take that every day.
Take that every day, right? With your food, just to help because of the food, the fats and stuff help. And this has all been purified. It's from the small fish. It's from like anchovies or sardines. Yes. So, and you want to make sure it's purified to get all the mercury and PCBs out of it. And so this is the one this is the cardiologist that I was talking about earlier. He uses this one, and he can tell by his patient's blood work
that it's working. And so, and where would they get this from, Claudia?
you can contact me, and I can give you the link for it.
Okay. And it's on the nutrition page, everyone, and you can just simply email Claudia, and she can give you that information for this. And how much would something like this run?
This is a 3-month.
3-month supply.
No, this is 3 months supply, and this is like $50. I can't remember the exact amount. But we also have a month supply.
Definitely worth it.
$30, right? And then the other one that this is a line that our doctors really like. I was talking about free radicals, and the oligomeric proanthocyanidins, which shortened to be OPC,
right,
are some very strong free radical challengers, antioxidants. And this is a line called I can't from the camera
there for you.
Called isotonics. And what's neat about this is it's a powder. So you drink it. So you put the powder in, and you fill this with water. And the reason it's called isotonic is that it's immediately bioavailable to the body. Mm-hmm. And this is a combination of 5 of major antioxidants. So the primary one is pycnogenol, which has been like amazing. It's one of the most researched nutritional supplements in the world, and it is extremely powerful antioxidant. And then you have the grapeseed extract, the red wine extract, and the bilberry and citrus extract. So these are all from fruits, and primarily fruits is where you get your antioxidants from. Right. And so this is so powerful that chiropractors love it. I work with I'm blanking on the name, orthopedic surgeon, and his wife gave him some of this because he was having.
Right.
And so he started using this, and he's like, he sells it to all his patients now. Right. Because it saved them from having a knee replacement.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
And the other thing about antioxidants, it helps with allergies and histamine type of stuff. So if you have allergies, asthma, any of that kind of stuff, arthritis is helped greatly by antioxidants.
That's awesome. So we got antioxidants so far, and we've got our omega-3s, and then this was the aloe vera, and
then this is the greens I was talking about. If you don't feel like you eat enough vegetables and you just can't take it. My husband travels for business, and so it's always a challenge for him. And so this is called Complete Greens. I don't know if you can see that. But this is one of those combinations that has, if you want to, look at the ingredients, it has the fiber in it, but it also has the spirulina superfoods in it. It has probiotics in it.
Wheatgrass.
It has all kinds of great things. It comes in capsule and powder. So one of my colleagues loves the powder because she can put it in her juicer, right, and put it in with her blender. And my husband loves the pills because, like I said, he travels, and so they're very easy to take with you.
Right. This is really great, you all, because and those of you who were on with Dr. Axe, he did speak about different things that you can do to jumpstart your body. And he, of course, we both agree that the foods that we eat, that should be the number one thing that we use to get our vitamins, but we know that we don't get everything that we need, so you have to have some sort of supplementation. So really this is a confirmation, because he talked about the antioxidants, he talked about having a super green, which that's what this is, and he talked about the probiotics, which we really need to make sure we're putting the healthy bacteria in our gut. Before it was just if you were on an antibiotic, as women they would say what? Do acidophilus or do a probiotic to ward against infections and yeast infections and all of those things as well. But now, studies have shown that you really do want to make sure that you're putting the healthy bacteria in your body, daily. And that was the purpose for yogurt. But really, as we know, with a lot of the yogurts out there, it has so many other things in it. So really, you all, this has been about what can you do to ensure that you have proper digestion in the body to get your intestines from, sticking together like this, right? But really being moved so things are able to move, and so that you can properly eliminate. And of course, water too is one of the best.
Water is really, really important.
Water for elimination. So thank you all for joining Claudia and I today. Claudia, thank you for your contribution.
Pleasure.
And your heart to see people healthy inside and out. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you all for being a part of the Cove. This week has been live. We have been having so many amazing, wonderful guests that have been live with us. So continue to expect, continue to participate, and continue to just in your mind visualize yourself being successful and healthy, and implement some of these things. Implementation is one of the key things towards success. So even if you start with the aloe vera juice or doing your fish oil, but again, Claudia is on the site, her information is on the site, and so you can see where to get these great things.
Right, and I'm available if you want a free health consultation, so just email me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and I'll see you in the Cove.